Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to take a look at the Skypiea arc, which is actually already the end of our whole Sky Island saga, and then we can continue to the next part of One Piece. But first off, let's get a quick flashback to last week. Jaya was not too much happened in Jaya. We remember Blackbeard being there, Bellamy doing his things, Cricket doing his things, but most of these things don't really matter to like the big picture of One Piece right now. But Skypiea, I think everyone who thought ahead already knows that Skypiea is actually very, very important to the entirety of the One Piece story, and also to this what if. So, I would say let's get right into it. So, part 15. Skypiea. Like I said, we always start with the flashback. Last week, not really anyone died, so we are still at a death counter of 38. But that might change today. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but you can already think about stuff. So, we are in the Sky Island saga, the Skypiea arc. Everything from Noland, the Shandians, Gunfall, and all the ordeals, everything with Anna, everything takes place in this singular arc. This is also the arc we learned that Sanji is from the north, but I guess we won't learn it in like this version of the story, so let's not look into that too much. First of all, none of the Skypieans will ever know that Enel is up to something bad. They will just live up to their normal day. Everybody, like the White Barretts here and everybody else, like what's her name? Connie's, her father, and all the other people. All of them will live regular lives until suddenly something happens to them. Well, this isn't something the regular citizens notice, but this is the beginning of the end. We got the Shandians, because they would have attacked Enel even without the Straw Hats. So they are going to attack. They are going to charge in. And who's also on their side? Gunfall will join them. Well, Gunfall is, even though he lost his position as a god and the Shandians don't really like him, he will still try his best to help them in their fight against the ordeals and Enel. But as I said, we have the entirety of the ordeals, and we know that, like, if we just look at this picture, who took care of those ordeals? The ball ordeal. Well, Sanji, Usopp, and Luffy took care of them. This big guy in the center, Robin took care of him. The swamp ordeal, Chopper took care of him. The fire ordeal, well, that was, I think, Gunfall, but I'm not... Was it Zoro? I'm not sure. But the iron ordeal is for sure Zoro. I'm not sure about the fire ordeal there. And Enel, well, we only know that Luffy was there for him. So, what is going to happen here? Who's going to take care of the ordeals? And most importantly, who is going to take care of Enel? Nobody is strong enough to defeat Enel. While Viper was pretty close with his rejectile and all that stuff, Enel could just restart his heart with his Devil Fruit, which in my opinion didn't make any sense. It's the thing of, if he needed to restart his heart, that means he's dead. But if he's dead, shouldn't he have lost his Devil Fruit ability already? How did that work? I don't really know how that worked. But hey, that's not me, so hey Oda, whatever you do. And the whole thing with the arc will just take place like ordinary. But who is going to be on the arc? Well, that's the important question. Who is going to win in the fights between the ordeals and the Shandians? And also Gunfall. So basically, in my opinion, even without the Straw Hats, the ordeals would have lost in the big picture. Because as we saw, Viper was basically on the same level as Enel, if there wasn't this thunder thing that doesn't make any sense. So, in my opinion, even if Viper had to use his rejectile even before fighting Enel, he could have at least defeated 1 or 2 ordeals by himself. Then we have Gunfall taking care of 1 ordeal, and all the other Shandians together could have probably taken care of the Ball ordeal, the Swamp ordeal because he was pretty stupid, and the big fat guy who Robin took care of could also be taken care of. So in my opinion, even though the Shandians will have many more people lost in this fight compared to the canon version, they are still going to win against the ordeals, which takes them out of the picture who might be on the arc together with NL. So, would any Shandian or Ganfall join NL to his journey up to the Fairy Verve, whatever the name for the moon is in his language? No, nobody would join him. Basically, this is pretty much the same as in the normal thing. That means, even after defeating all of the ordeals, NL would take care of all of them. Which means, NL would, just like in the canon version, go alone to the moon. Because there's nobody who would join him here, because his followers are defeated, and the Shandians would never follow him. So he would have to defeat them. And we also know what part of NL's plan was after he got to the Endless Land in the sky. And this leads us to our consequences. First of all, yes, there are many deaths here, because the ordeals are going to die. Many Shandians are going to die. And you also need to think about this. The citizen of Skypiea, including Conus, her father, different people like the old woman who wanted the toll to enter Skypiea, the Sky Barretts, some of the other fighters, or like those, I don't know, those goat humans that NL had on his side, and all these different people. Gunfall and the whole Shandian tribe. All of those are going to die. Even if they didn't die during the fight with NL, they will die the moment NL strikes with his biggest and fiercest thunder strike on top of Sky Island, Skypiea. Because that was his plan. Once he was done, he wanted to make a thunder strike go down, which would send Skypiea back to the Blue Sea. Would anyone be able to survive such a drop? Well, basically only the Bird of the Fire ordeal guy. I think it was String ordeal. I'm not sure. Like the fire-breathing bird guy with the lance. His bird would survive, and Pierre, the horse, or the bird with the horse fruit, would survive as well. Maybe those two could save Gunfall and like the ordeal connected to the bird. Like they would save their riders there, but they can't save everyone. So maybe those wouldn't die, but overall, the number we have now in the death counter is 69. And I didn't even fudge anything here to see, okay, can I get somehow to 69? I don't want 70 or 68, I want 69. This is literally the number I came up when I looked at the people on the island and all the other things who might die. I also thought about who else might die, because the island Skypiea is going to drop to the Blue Sea. Skypiea was basically a part of Jaya, meaning they were very close together. I can't tell you if there was something like a cloud drift that made Skypiea basically leave its spot by a bit, or if it's still exactly in the same spot but higher. So if it's the same spot but higher and then falls down directly next to Jaya, just imagine the insane tidal wave coming from that drop. If people, whoever's on the island, might die. They might die or like get heavily injured. So I'm not sure how that would take place. But if you think about it, if Bellamy would get swept up by the tidal wave, while everybody else was taking care of themselves because they can't look after whoever is there, Bellamy would have died. Bellamy would have died because of the tidal wave. He would have fell in the ocean and would have just drowned. But I personally think that Skypiea isn't literally right next to Jaya. So I wouldn't say that this is going to happen, but they might still get like a tidal wave on them, but not as big as if it was right next to them. Also, let's go here. Well, NL succeeds with his plan without any difficulties, because there is no Luffy, who is his natural enemy, to stop him. So he will go to the moon and discover all the robots there, the automata. And so even without Luffy's like being there, he's still on the moon, finding out a few things about history, and he might return back to the final arc of the story, or like during somewhere in the story, because for whatever reason he will come back. At least that's what most of the people I think who read One Piece think. I don't know if he's still going to be an antagonist or if he's like going to be a supporter now, but whatever is the case, I really am looking forward to see what's going to come out of the whole moon thing. Because I don't think that the Straw Hats are going to go to him on the moon, so he needs to come back, if he even comes back. And now a few other things. Well, the conflict between the Shandians will never stop. They will never work out everything, and so the Shandians, Viper and his buddies, won't become the next guards of Skypia's god. Whoever that is, by the way. I'm not really sure who that is. That also means that Gunfall and the leader of the Shandians want to reconcile and become friends all the time. And well, what's her name? Aisha? Aisa? She won't grow up to be this cute. She will just die as a small child, and she won't be able to work together with Konas and others. And in my opinion, one of the most important things here, the Golden Island, or the Golden City, City of Gold. The Golden City will never be discovered. It will be under the ocean now. Maybe it will become known as Atlantis, who knows? And it also leads us to the question of the poneglyphs there will also be lost. There was not only the poneglyph that they found with Roger's text, but also a different writing, like everybody in the Golden City used the poneglyph writing system. So all that history will be lost. Even though everybody who can read the poneglyphs is already dead, so that's about it. I guess everybody who wants to discover the true history of the world with the road poneglyphs and everything else now needs at least an awakened Free-Eyed tribe member. I think that's why Big Mom really liked Pudding in that sense, because she has the ability to read the poneglyphs, and she's basically the most important part to make her the new pirate king or queen. But I don't know if it's confirmed that Free-Eyed people can read that if they like awaken their third eye. There might also be like a devil fruit, I don't know, the read fruit or something, which just gives you the ability to read everything. Like read every type of writing, even though it's coded or something, and read the people's minds or their actions. So basically like advanced observation haki, but even deeper. I think such a devil fruit would be pretty cool. So that also means, like I said, Skypia will fall down. The whole thing with the left eye and the right eye, maybe the One Piece being there, who knows. All these things are not going to matter because the whole island is basically going to get destroyed. And that's about it for Skypia. Skypia is everything's over. And everybody there is going to die. I don't even know why I have this picture. It's just Jaya and Skypia will be together again, basically. They might have a bit more what's the word, distance between each other, but they will at least be on the blue sea together again. So I guess that's interesting. I don't know if this map is a fan art, by the way, now that I look at it, or if it's actually in the story, but what the hell is the 6028 on the bottom? I have no idea what this means, and I'm not going to think about it, because that's just confusing me right now. Maps in One Piece, I don't care. There's enough about One Piece and travel times that is already something that I don't like too much. But hey, Anel's on the moon. He can stay there for all he wants. Nobody's going to stop him. And every human apparently can breathe on the moon. So he's going to have a good time there. So just spend your time over there. Maybe come back to, who knows, Elbaf in the future. Maybe you can become the Thunder God 4 or something. You can meet all the people there. I mean, the leader of the Elbafians, or whatever their tribe would be called, is Loki. So it would make sense that a guy who literally named their attacks L4 could come back during Elbaf. But I don't want to go too much into a tangent. So I am going to end everything here. Next week, we're going to go into the new saga, the Water 7 saga. And the Water 7 saga basically starts out with the most important arc in the entire One Piece history. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can already look forward to the next week. Because next week we're going to cover 2 arcs. Because the first one is literally not important. So, that's about it for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. And we will see each other again next week. Exactly. Bye!